What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 3 of the Undisputed podcast. You're joined by myself, Jason, and my co-host, Mr. Julio Garcia. Just us sitting here again talking a lot of shit every week about what's happening.
Good to be back.
In the world of MMA. So there's been a lot of kind of team happenings going against each other. We saw the whole Conor team versus Khabib team.
Yeah.
We're now seeing Floyd Mayweather having a go at everyone else's team, including Oscar De La Hoya.
I've got some cool shit to show you on that.
So I've got a pretty cool idea of something that used to be done but hasn't been done for quite a while. It's called Team Fighting Championship.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show you this and just get a little bit of an opinion on it.
This is a whole bunch of guys get together and all just
correct. So it's a team of 5 versus kind of a team of 5 MMA fighters where they literally just kick the shit out of each other. This one was Team Sweden versus Team Poland.
Yeah.
And there you can see that they got a couple of referees in there. And
so you just have to fight the guy that's opposite you.
No, it's just a melee. Everyone goes for everyone, which is cool when it's still 5-on-5.
So why aren't we doing this for Conor and Khabib, Oaks? Let's do this.
So what you can see is it's still pretty cool when there's 5-on-5 and kind of everyone's beating the shit out of everyone. But where it really starts getting interesting is, as you can see there, is when one gets knocked out, it then becomes like a 4-on-1 and a 3-on-1.
Oh, yeah, no, that's it. That's pretty intense.
So I think this is
shot in? Brakpan.
It looks like it could be any Lebanese bar in the south of Johannesburg.
I'm telling you.
So this is what I think they should have done for a Khabib and Conor. Just take Artem Lobov, Conor, all his teammates,
rematch,
all of Khabib's guys, and just let them all kick the shit out of each other.
Great.
So I'm all for Team Fighting Championship. That's right. I mean, you can see the 5 lebs kicking the poor one guy outside the bar in the south.
Is it a pro sport?
Yeah. So this is actually happening. They had a couple of them, and then they haven't had one in about 9 months, but they had a few of them on the chart. So I thought it would be a pretty cool start of the show, just to show what I think they should be doing between Conor and Khabib.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Obviously now that it looks like Khabib and Floyd Mayweather might actually fight. I saw Khabib a couple of weeks ago actually was standing with Leonard Alerbi, who is the CEO of Mayweather Productions, and saying that they should fight because he's the Mayweather of the UFC or whatever. Because
he's saying he's tougher than Conor. He's not going to get knocked out.
That's right. And he said he cracked Conor and he actually dropped Conor where Floyd didn't. So Floyd had this to say, as Floyd does. He is the A side.
How about that money? Right. So you're serious about this? You take the fight with Khabib?
Are we fighting? Oh, you are? Are we? I mean, I'm my own boss, right? So I can't say what's going on Khabib end, but on my end, we can make it happen. Then I've seen that on IG and on social media, he put, I think basically, he'll fight, but he don't want to fight in Vegas. Of course, we know Vegas is the fighting capital. Yeah. And after the fight, you have to conduct yourself like a true professional, not just in the ring, but outside the ring also. You must conduct yourself like a professional. And it was a big melee. I haven't had a chance to see it.
So you get the vibe. You get the vibe of what's happening here. I mean, what do you think the chances are of this fight happening? Everybody said when Conor and Mayweather were going to fight that it couldn't happen. It could happen. Mayweather's in the check cashing business, but I just think he destroys him. He's unhittable and he can't grapple. You know what I mean? You're in a boxing ring. Khabib, you're going to get fucked up. Leave it alone, brother. Leave it alone. Look what happened to Conor.
Although I do think that Khabib has more of a chance of going the distance. I don't think he has a hope in hell of winning the fight.
No,
but I do think he has a chance of going the distance because he can take a crack. I mean,
well, we'll watch and see.
It's all about the paycheck, though, at the end of the day. When everyone spoke about Conor Mayweather, I was like, the only reason it happens is because it's just too much money.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
The question, though, is can Khabib pull the crowd that Conor pulled?
Yeah, probably not.
And that's where it'll all come down to. Unless, in my opinion, they do the fight in Russia, which is what I think the smarter thing would be.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, Floyd's already said he's only fighting in Vegas. So that's it. And Khabib said he doesn't want to fight. So we'll watch it. But, I mean, isn't it amazing that a boxer like Floyd Mayweather, who's retired, is the biggest name in MMA and in boxing, like he says. The biggest MMA fighters want to fight Floyd Mayweather. Why? Because of the money. Paychecks. That's what it's about.
But in all fairness, he is calling out everyone he can possibly call out. He's talking about bringing Oscar De La Hoya back for a fight. He's talking about fighting Canelo again. He's talking about fighting all.
So it's the next point. So to put some context into this, just before you play it, obviously Mayweather and Canelo fought a very one-sided fight a few years ago. I think Canelo was only 21 years old. Yeah. Mayweather actually took him out a little bit.
And Mayweather spanked him like he did.
On Instagram, pretty much so, because Canelo signed that $350 million deal over 11 fights. Mayweather pretty much said, look, guys, I'll make that in 30 minutes. Canelo was the easiest fight of my career. And then he put a picture up of Oscar De La Hoya in fishnet stockings.
And high heels.
And high heels.
everything else.
If you haven't seen, I don't think we got it, but if you haven't seen it, you got to check it out. So he's just taking everybody out. I could just see him coming back. And then this was, Canelo responding to Mayweather. Is that right?
Yeah.
To that
No, mira, realmente no soy ese tipo de personas que...
So for the record, I don't speak any fucking
It's
Spanish.
all in fucking Spanish. The reason I wanted to play this is I don't understand. Why does he still have a translator, this guy? Can you not live with all my country goes some English lessons, brother? What is going on? You know, so he's got to have this guy next to him all the time. And how do you even know he's saying the right thing?
I'm the type of person who's going to put posts, who's going to put things on Instagram or Twitter to try to offend people. If you want to make the fight, then do things directly with me. But I'm not going to be posting stuff on Instagram and offending people.
All right, well, it's fine. You can pause it. Just Canelo really speaking Spanish, you know? Oh, no, yo quiero el Mayweather and this and that. Piss off, brother. Learn some fucking English.
At least some.
English. That's what's going to sell the fight. That's why you're making 300 million in 5 years and Mayweather's making it in 30 minutes. Just my
Well,
opinion.
there we go. So the two things that are happening this week in the world of MMA, which South Africans and kind of Africans will be interested in, is Don Magic Man Madge is finally making his
What a
his
fighter.
debut in the UFC. He was supposed to fight in the UFC before, and then
Yeah.
the fight he pulled out of the fight due to injury. He is now fighting this weekend in Canada against Tay Edwards. Both of these guys making their promotional debut, so they haven't fought in the UFC yet. Don, we know, 7-3. His only 3 losses all coming to the same guy in Leon Maynard. And Tay Edwards on a massive tear on his side. His only loss coming by decision, and all 6 his wins by KO or TKO. So expect this one to finish early. I don't expect it to go the full distance. I don't expect it to go 3 rounds. Obviously, everyone in South Africa is behind Don Madge, hoping
Come on,
he gets
Don.
a win in the UFC and becomes the second guy to win there after Soldier Boy winning in the UFC once before.
Yeah.
So
Once
let's see.
Out of how many?
1-3 was his record in the UFC, which is better
Yeah.
than some of the other guys that have been there. We won't mention
mean,
any names,
no,
but
I mean-
0-3 was the previous guy.
Wouldn't it be cool to have a South African who sort of goes to a Mcgregor type status or Mcgregor type level? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would be awesome. What it would do for MMA, just like having like a global superstar like a Charlize Theron or whatever, you know, for MMA.
Yeah, we had
cool.
the African
dark.
that really jumped out in the
Yeah.
UFC was Francis Ngannou. We all know
Yeah.
he's just knocking people out everywhere. And then everyone went, oh, look, Africa's on the map.
African. It's not
South African, yeah.
He's an Nigerian beast.
So we're all behind Don Madge this weekend. You know, lots happening for him. Tay Edwards is a tough opponent. He said he's going to smoke Don Madge early
Yeah.
in the interviews that he's had. So let's see what happens in that one. And then the other one happening this weekend, which is Brave happening in Pakistan. So we've got JP Base, the South African,
Yeah.
making his promotional debut
In
there.
Pakistan.
In Pakistan.
I
So
thought they only played cricket in Pakistan.
no, so they actually have a couple of Pakistan MMA fighters out there as well.
Really?
So they do.
Oh my word.
So they're
But
doing
there's some small little guys,
a
Pakistani
Team
guys.
Pakistan fight against a couple of other
Yeah.
nations as well. And then obviously JP Base making his promotional debut against the Dagestani. So I'm sure Khabib will be watching that with great interest.
I love it.
So we'll just... that's the end of the show for this week, I think.
It
We'll
is.
wish Don Madge and JP Base good luck for their fights.
Share it with your mates, guys. I think so. What views? How many views did we get this week? We're on.
I don't know.
I think we hit like 30 views this week, guys. So we started with 15. We doubled our viewership. Let's try to double our viewership again. Let's go for 60 views this week.
There you go.
Share it with your friends. Come on, I shared it with everybody on WhatsApp. Share it with your mates.
And what I'm going to do as well is I'll get a bit of shit talking stuff from JP Base in Pakistan this weekend.
Sounds
I will
good.
be there, so we'll do a short podcast interview with him while we're there as well.
Good stuff.
And we'll play you out with the promo from Pakistan coming up this weekend, and you guys can have a look at who else is fighting on there. But interesting fight night, interesting location in Lahore, and we'll catch you next week.
Brave Pakistan represents something much more than just an event.
We welcome Brave.
This is the first international mixed martial event that's ever happening in Pakistan.
The world going against each other in battle. Country versus country for worldwide bragging rights. But he is
This is going to be not just about mixed martial art. This event is going to be about sports. This event is going to be about the hope for the Pakistani youth.
It looked like a flash knockdown. This is a fight and I lost it.
great timing. Great Oh, wow.
It's just going to be the beginning of so much more that you're going to see in Pakistan and with Brave in the coming future.